It must be Wednesday, because the hallways of North Shore High School are decked out in pink. Pink tassels hang off lockers, pink flyers line the walls, and a large pink banner reading, "Vote for your spring fling queen," covers the entire width of the hall. It's as if the whole school wants to ensure it can sit with the plastics. It's early December, and 6 cast members of the upcoming Mean Girls musical film are preparing for a group shot at EW's cover shoot. Each person surrounded by a team of makeup professionals and publicists inside Ms. Norberry's increasingly chaotic classroom. But someone's missing, and it's not because she's gone to get cheese fries. Moments later, a distant voice cuts through the crowd. "We have Renee." Instantly, a sea of people parts as Renee Rapp, this film's Regina George, enters the room. Now this feels like Mean Girls. In 2004, the world was introduced to Queen Bee Regina George and her army of plastics when the original Mean Girls hit theaters. Written by Tina Fey, the comedy followed 16-year-old Katie Heron, Lindsay Lohan, as she moved from Africa to Illinois and was introduced to a very different kind of food chain, the high school girl kind, where popularity was everything. Which meant Rachel McAdams' Regina George was everything. Regina and her besties, Gretchen, Lacey Chabert, with her hair full of secrets, and Karen, Amanda Seyfried, with her 5th sense, ruled North Shore High, at least until Katie partnered with art freaks Janice, Lizzie Kaplan, and Damien, Daniel Franzese, to take them down. The film was an instant success, its influence spreading faster than a new Regina-inspired fashion trend. Even if you've never seen it, you've absolutely heard someone mention it, be it your personal friends, President Obama's dog trying to make fetch happen, or Ariana Grande recreating the Jingle Bell Rock number for her "Thank You" next. Music video. You can have full conversations in Mean Girls. It was embedded in our DNA, says Samantha Jane, who co-directs the new movie with Arturo Perez Jr. It's kind of like how they say a baby is born every 5 seconds. I think a Mean Girls quote is said somewhere in the world every 5 seconds. No one is safe from the Mean Girls influence, not even the people behind it. Saturday Night Live mastermind Lorne Michaels, a producer on both films, remembers sitting at a diner with his then-teenage daughter 7 or 8 years ago when she asked him what day of the week it was. When he didn't remember, she reminded him. "It was October 3rd. It just resonated," Michaels says. "It was in the culture, and somehow it stayed current." Years after the movie's release, when it was clear the love for the story didn't end the moment Katie broke her plastic crown into shareable chunks at the Spring Fling, Fey, alongside Michaels, composer Jeff Richmond, and lyricist Nell Benjamin adapted the story into a musical, which premiered on Broadway in 2018 and garnered a dozen Tony nominations. That lasting influence is also why they're now bringing it back to theaters. It was about, how do we do the best of the musical, plus the best of the original? Michaels says of the new film, "It isn't a remake, it's a new interpretation. It feels like a familiar enough story, but it's for today. And with an underlying message of accepting others, the story is perhaps more timely than ever." Turns out the original did not fix anything, and it's only spread to adults, and now everyone behaves this way, Faye says. Not a regular musical. On January 12th, audiences will return to North Shore High School, where Katie is the new girl, Ms. Norberry, Faye, is still teaching calculus, and Principal Duval Tim Meadows is still wearing a cast for his carpal tunnel. But with the exception of Faye and Meadows reprising their previous roles, there's a new cast taking on the characters and the lines audiences love. Well, actually, there's one other actor who's walked these halls before. Rapp first played Regina on Broadway in 2019. "There's no version of my existence where Mean Girls wasn't a reference or a cultural moment," says Rapp, 23. "I was watching it when I was 4. It's been around for 20 years, and it's just as popping as it always was. You can't avoid it because it's such a pop culture phenomenon." Like many, Rapp is obsessed with Rachel McAdams, and before you ask, yes, she has seen the recent video of McAdams saying she can't do any wrong in the role. "It's not how many people sent it to me," Rapp says with a laugh. "It's how quickly my grandmother sent it to me."